Good morning. Welcome to Baft Books, and my name's Duncan. I've got my little gorgeous Labrador here who's saying hello. Oh, sorry, baby. Slapped you here a bit too hard over here, and my Yorkie over there is asleep. If you hear any wind noises, that's because it's a very windy and dreary day here in Scotland. This is actually my second video of the day. I just wanted to do another Paperback Parade, but I wanted to do something a little different. I've done a lot of science fiction books because that's one of my main things is science fiction. And if you don't know, Paperback Parade was started by the Book Eclectic, and it's to celebrate books before 1990 and their cover art. And I'm going to do something very strange here. This is a children's book, and it's like this cat by Emily Neville. This book was this version of the book is published in 1963. The artwork on it may or may not be what I'm talking about. I'm going to put up here the artwork that I know and a picture of it, which is by Emil Weiss, who did the artwork. But this book, so this version is 1963, so this could still be Emil Weiss. But inside it also has some wonderful illustrations that are all very 60s in style. Which was all done by him as well. This front cover, I cannot find out whether it is actually an Emil Weiss painting or not. So I'm going to assume it's not, because I can't find anyone. And anyone claims in the style, if you look at the picture I'm just putting up there, it's in a similar style to what's inside the book. But I'll quickly talk about the book. It's like this cat is a children's book. It was aimed for about 14 years old, and it's about a boy in Brooklyn and his conflicts with his dad in the late 50s, early 60s. And it's just about a slice of life and him adopting a cat. And I read it, first time I read it was, I can't remember, many years ago, because I think my sister brought it back from school and I ended up reading it. But even now, I reread it this year, and it's still a good book. You can read it in one sitting, because I said it's a children's book. And it's, for somebody who lives in the UK, and at the point I was living in England, you know, places like New York seem so foreign. And to me, it shows me a microcosm of what New York felt like for a young boy in that period of time in the early 60s. You know, it's like his first relationship with a girl. He goes to... he sort of starts growing up and making decisions. He befriends a burglar of all people, and his relationships with a cat. And I said I love cats anyway. And it's a really, really enjoyable book. A lot of people may have heard about it. If you want to read it, it is actually free on Project Gutenberg to download to your electronic device of choice. I might actually put a link down below just so you can see it. And I think the version probably will have the artwork that's inside it as well. I said it's a really easy read. Take you a couple of hours. It's big there. But the artwork, Emil Weiss, who's the artist on it, is quite an interesting guy. He was born in about 1920. He was from Czechoslovakia. He went to England in 1938-ish, I think, and tried to claim he was a refugee, but because the Germans hadn't invaded yet, he wasn't allowed to. But they did, and he managed to become refugee status and get some work. His style of artwork, he's a really prolific artist. He used to do some gorgeous brushwork things. He went to America. He did loads of artwork for the Christian Science Monitor. And I'm going to read a bit from the Wikipedia page about some of the work he did, which sounds really quite fascinating. One of his favourite haunts was the UN building in New York, where he was often mistaken for a delegate. With his gracious old world manner, bow tie and Hornberg hat, thus diplomatically camouflaged, he blended into the background, where he would scribble surreptitious, sorry, badly pronunciation, notes on any scrap of paper he found in his pocket. Incredibly quickly, he caught and pinned down the personal characteristics of his distinguished subjects by their stance and body language. He then scooted back to the studio, where he deftly traced the scribbles using his unique dry brush technique of ink on vellum paper, identified the scene in his somewhat inventive spelling, tossed it in an envelope and rushed it to match the Monitor's Boston pouch. The drawings bear the working notes of an artist reporter under deadline. It was not a highly lucrative profession, but he loved its immediacy its glamour and the fun of revealing people. So that was somehow we produced some of his work. So this book won the Newbery Medal, which I think is a children's book award in America. Do not know. I should have done some research beforehand, but I didn't. But it's a firm favourite of mine. You know, if you're feeling a bit down, you just want to read it. Yes, as a 50-something man, reading a children's book sounds weird, but hey, it's a really, really good story. Very well written. I'd recommend it to any child nowadays to read it. I said, I'm not sure whether the artwork I have on this version is Emil Weiss, but the one I'm putting up there is. I used to have, many years ago, a version that was published in the UK by Puffin, which I will put up there. And I'm not sure who that artwork was by, whether that was Emil Weiss as well. What I might do is I might do a bit of research, and I'll, down the bottom here, I will tell you who the Puffin edition artwork was by. But that's my Paperback Parade for number 3, a bit of a sort of an offshoot for me. I'm going to obviously continue doing some more of these. And I said, if anybody's interested, the book collecting started it. I'll do a link to her original video there. And there's a few other people doing it. Sean D. Standfast is doing it. Science Fiction Reads is doing it. And I'll put some links to anybody else I've seen doing them down below as well. So that's my Paperback Parade number 3. Thank you.